China's two largest state-owned yards are merging, creating the world's largest.
China State Shipbuilding Corporation and China Shipbuilding Industry Corporation's merger is expected to have combined annual sales exceeding $17 billion. It's the latest in China's bid to enhance global competitiveness in its shipbuilding sector. Well, Professor Martin Stopford is author of Maritime Economics and Executive Director of Marecon Ltd.
Each of them were among the top shipbuilders in the world before the formal merger. Now it's consolidated in financial terms, as I understand it. CSSC has issued shares to take over CSIC, and I believe this is the end of a process that's been going on for a few years of consolidating these two very big companies in order to manage the shipbuilding business. I mean, shipbuilding is changing, and it's a very important time to manage the supply chains, the design development work and so forth. So I think this is a big step forward.
Yeah, and how big is it then, to put this into perspective for people? I mean, I called it a super merger. Is that what you would say?
Well, perhaps your listeners wouldn't be familiar with the shipbuilding market, but it's very concentrated in a few countries, and that has changed over the years. I mean, 100 years ago, Britain was the leader, but that, of course, and quite by chance, Harland and Wolff, one of our shipbuilding companies, went into liquidation, which really is the end of 100 years of shipbuilding in the UK. The biggest shipbuilder today is China, with over 50% of the world shipbuilding market.
Martin, you've mentioned the scale of this business in China. What do you think will change now? Will they just completely dominate the market within China?
Well, yes, I guess that will happen. How can a company as big as this not dominate the market? But this is not really the objective. We're now having to deal with decarbonisation, climate change. All of the previous 50 years, ships relied entirely on fossil fuels. And now, today, we're going to have to phase out fossil fuels and replace them with some other form of propulsion. And we're not quite sure what that will be. There's a whole range of things. It could be green fuels like ammonia. It could end up being nuclear power. It could be carbon capture. And these are things which need a lot of resources of both finance and skills to develop. And I think a big group of the sort that has been formed now should be very well placed to develop those skills and to work with the supplier industries in order to develop consistent technology so that the ships that are built in the next 30 years are more efficient, they have zero carbon, and they have a very high level of digital technology and integration, which is another very important part of the business.